So I'm kind of a late bloomer when it comes to my educational journey, but I made a discovery later in life that I think will save some people a lot of money and some effort and time in their own educational journey. So I wanted to share that. When I left high school, I went to college for a couple years, and like a lot of kids at that time, didn't really know what I wanted to do. I started out as a music major, went to computer science, finally figured out that I was more mathematical oriented, but still really didn't know what I wanted to do for a career. And I was amassing school debt and just felt like I didn't want to get into a lot of debt at a young age. And so I exited college, got into the workforce, landed in some fields that I really did enjoy in life. I was a broker and an assistant to a real estate broker for many years. I did some marketing, some construction. I even did some publicity for a self-publishing company, and then ended up being a door and millwork expert, which I just loved the detail of that job. But later in life, I moved to a small town called Norton, Kansas, and there wasn't a lot of employment opportunity there in real estate or construction at all. And so I went to work for Valley Hope Foundation and entered into a development position, and that is a fancy term for fundraising. And it was my first time being in the fundraising department, and I was learning a lot of things that were really fascinating, actually, chief of which was that there are people who have capacity who just really want to make a difference in someone else's life. But apart from that, Valley Hope emphasized education quite a bit, and they were also willing to pay for education. And the degree that was recommended for the department that I was in at that time was a business administration degree. And so I thought, well, here's an opportunity for me to actually finish my degree and have part of it paid for, and that was wonderful. But partway along, I switched gears and am now working for a wonderful organization called Deaf Child Hope. Well, they do not provide the financial backing for education, which was fine, but then I found myself kind of in a bind because I want to finish my education, but just felt like it was really cost prohibitive. I was already over $8,000 in debt, even with having that help with paying for my education. But I didn't have a ton of courses left to finish, and I felt like I really should finish. So I called Liberty University, and that's where I had landed originally, because they were willing to take the credits, almost all of the credits that I had from when I was going to college, back as a teenager. And so I figured, well, if they'll take my credits, then I can at least finish this in a decent amount of time. So I started taking classes in the fall of 2021, and would just take one class at a time, and while I was working full-time and traveling quite a bit, so it was still very challenging. So anyway, I called Liberty and just explained my financial situation, and then they told me about another online place that they would accept the credits in, called study.com. And so when I went and checked it out, it was extremely reasonable. In fact, it's $235 a month. And so as a self-paced course, you could get a class done in a month, if you are really consistent with your studies and that type of thing. So just to compare, for example, if you took 2 months to do a course, which is the time frame that Liberty's classes lasted, you would pay $470 for a course, as opposed to $1,365 at Liberty, plus a technology fee on top of that. And so this seemed to be the perfect avenue. I only have 2 courses left, and the courses that I have taken at study.com have been really easy to do for me. And they also do offer tutoring if you should happen to need that, but I didn't need tutoring for the classes that I was taking from them. But I just feel like it's an opportunity to get a college education for much, much less of the cost, and wanted to recommend it to anybody that either wants to finish their education or of course are helping your kids go through, you know how expensive that is. And so it's just a really viable option. And I encourage you to check it out at study.com. Thank you.